right, guys, are y'all ready to get started today? First of all, how's everybody doing?
Good. Happy Friday.
It's Friday.
Friday.
I love Fridays, right? Coaching went okay?
It did.
Good. All right, so we'll go ahead and get started. Let's take a second and look at our norms. Could I have someone read the first one for us?
Okay. Honor professional courtesies and expectations.
To foster honest conversations and cultivate a brave space for all. What is said here in confidence will be kept here, but to foster our growth, what is learned here will leave here.
Maintain a growth mindset that includes flexibility, respect, and continuous improvement.
Commit to a respectful and responsive collaboration while honoring different perspectives.
Expect and accept non-closure.
That's a big one, right? All right, everybody okay with those norms? Thumbs up. Do we need to revise any? Are we good? All right, so I'm gonna mark that they were reviewed and.
Got it already.
Oh, perfect, thank you. Okay, so our focus today, thinking of the 4 questions, we unpacked the standard last time. Today, we're going to look at the data that we collected from the CCA that we created a couple weeks ago. So we'll look at that, and then we're going to have those great conversations about what are we gonna do for the students who maybe are still struggling and didn't get that concept, and then what can we do for the kiddos that already know it. And our focus obviously is reading in the area of emergent reading. Okay, so are we ready to move on?
Yes.
Okay, so our data, let's go up to the top here. So the target skill was the student will be able to recognize rhyming words. See everybody popping into our data sheet, a summary sheet there. And the CCA that we created was around providing 2 words. And so if you see the teacher will say 2 words, the students will gesture, and we said we would allow head shakes, thumbs up, or they could say yes or no, point. After 5 different pairs, examples and non-examples were given. And we actually said, we agreed that it was okay to use pictures to help for those kiddos that might need that as well. And the word families, or the words that we chose, were dog, hog, lip, ship, cat, mom, goat, boat, and head, tail for those examples. And of course our goal was 4 out of 5 correct, and then we put it below. And yay, everyone finished on time. Were you able to fit it in?
Yes.
When did you do most of your testing? Just curious.
During work time.
During work time?
I just used a little checklist and went around. And
Perfect.
I did a few during small group time.
Wonderful. So, but everybody was able to manage it. Okay, perfect. All right, so let's see how we did. And so, as you can see, everybody kind of ranked their kids in one sheet so that we could kind of sort them naturally. And we had some kiddos that were still struggling. And there's a place for student notes later if we want to add that, just to help us make better decisions. We had quite a few 1s, some 2s. Oh look, we're getting to the 3s, 4s, and wow, check out all those kiddos that have it pretty well. If it helps, I'm gonna go ahead and mark, what do you think would be our target for the kiddos that didn't get it? Those that scored 2 or less? Okay, I'm just gonna highlight those because I think that'll help us make informed decisions, right? And we'll pick a pretty color. Let's make them purple. There, okay? And then our kiddos 3, 4, probably not worried too much about, right? But 4s and 5s obviously mastered. So is it okay if I mark those? All right. And we'll make that pretty blue. Okay. So thinking, that's about half and half, right? So clearly, we're not ready to give up on this skill, right? Okay, so first of all, let's have a conversation around the kiddos that maybe didn't get it. Was there something that maybe we tried that didn't work, or something that you might change?
I know for ours, the 2 that really struggled have a receptive language impairment, and so I think next time we do it, we probably need to provide some pictures of words.
Anybody else have something?
Mine were, when I tried to do it during work time, we're very distracted with the noise. For the most part, the ones that didn't get it. So I may try to, maybe, like you said, during small groups but
Right.
not
Welcome to
as
pre-K.
loud. Not as loud, yeah, so maybe it's the time that I did it too.
For my kiddo, I think more, for her was more about the language. She's an ESL student, and so she's just new to our country, so I think for her, it's more about the language, so, thinking that maybe I need to look at some more strategies for ESL learners, maybe that might work, I'm not sure.
For my student, I noticed that I did provide the visual supports, but maybe he needed objects because he wasn't really understanding the visuals. He wasn't clear on some of the pictures. So maybe that was too abstract for him. So just more concrete examples next time.
And mine, one of mine that was really low, she's still a little young. This is pretty difficult for them sometimes. So I think she's still a little young, so she just needs a little more time.
Luckily, they have to be independent. There's a reason it says 8 months. All right, let's get down here to the kiddos who are rocking it. So was there anything that you did that you think was a difference maker that maybe somebody else hadn't thought of?
Well, I feel like my kids did pretty well, and I really can't take all the credit for it. I involved families. I sent home a Ready Rosie video, and I really, as soon as I did that, I saw a lot of improvement pretty quickly. So just keeping the families involved and understanding what we're working on in school.
You have 6 at 5. The data doesn't lie, right?
It's those families. I can't take all the credit.
Anybody else have a strategy that they thought really worked well?
Well, I noticed when I saw Melanie's class that she did it a lot during transitions time and just finding those ways to incorporate opportunities throughout the day to focus on that skill. So looking at, when she would transition to the carpet or just anytime throughout the day she was using those strategies.
Caitlin and I have been using these Mighty Minutes, and inside of them, there's really good resources. There's one on Mind on Rhymes, Rhyme Time, and during those quiet times or transition times, we're really trying to incorporate more of that learning. Maybe that's what helped support them in that area.
I think so, and it's cut down on behaviors overall too, because the kids are actually interested in what we're doing.
And Megan, I know you push in a lot, so is there any strategy that you've been able to see or?
I'm gonna jump on board with them. I really wanna start incorporating these. I think that's a quick, easy, thing to incorporate that I might see some changes right away. So I think I'm gonna try these out with mine.
All right. So I think we talked about the data, right? Everybody feel good about that? What do you feel about testing them again? Like, how long do you think we should wait before we maybe go back and try it again? And do you want to use the same assessment again? Or how do you feel about that?
Well, if we wanna go to apples to apples, I think that we maybe want to do the same assessment, so that way, giving them the same playing field,
Okay.
but,
I think that'd be consistent with the data.
Yeah.
Because then it's kind of like what Kimberly just said, compare apples to apples and see, is there growth or not with what we're implementing from now? Did that help or did it not?
Now, if we do use the same assessment, are we going to assess the students that have already mastered it, or?
Ooh, great question.
Maybe just see if there's continuing to show mastery. I would just maybe one more time.
Just a quick check,
Yeah.
maybe,
Just a
nothing
quick
too
check.
thorough.
But if we do that, do we wanna use some different words? I mean,
Yes.
they're very
Yes.
familiar, so.
Yeah, I think with the ones that mastered, let's make it still challenging, but a different set of words.
Or do we wanna assess them on something,
We could see if they could produce already.
Oh, that's true. Taking it.
If they can already produce, then you don't even have to worry about.
I mean, I think that's probably more valuable.
I think that's a great idea. So I just said re-administer CCA, but we actually, what I'm hearing is create, an additional one for mastered students, right? Okay.
And then what y'all do? Give 2 weeks, maybe?
I think that's enough time.
Is that enough time?
Okay, then I can work with you on that if you wanna.
Yeah, that'd be great.
At least an outline for everybody to approve.
Okay, that's perfect. So I'm just gonna put 2 weeks and we can plug in the dates, cause there's a couple holidays. Okay, so we'll re-administer the CCA to all, after 2 weeks, and then we'll create an additional one for those those students have already mastered and maybe the next level, right? Okay, so let's talk about ideas then. So we know where they are, we know kind of what worked and what didn't. So what are y'all thinking for our small groups for next week?
So looking at Circle, they have a rhyming basket with the students hunt for rhymes. So they're given either 8 to 10 pairs of rhyming objects or pictures. So for me, I would probably look for objects for my students that continue to struggle, just to see if they do better this time. So they're just gonna be looking at those objects and making sure that they're able to pick out the ones that rhyme. And then we do have some pictures already created here as a sample if anybody does need some pictures for their kiddos that might need that extra support.
Those are great, and we actually have a bunch of extra baskets in our room if anybody needs to use them.
So every student would have their own basket.
Every student would have their
right?
own basket and between 8 to 10 pairs of rhyming objects or pictures. So just having, and that would be a good small group activity. You can quickly assess what they know before that we do this meeting.
Does anybody else
What do you
have
guys
any
think?
other-
I found this on TPT. It's actually a puzzle, so it kind of goes maybe a little bit further than yours.
Oh,
They have to
okay.
put puzzles together. And it is already made, and the pictures, to me are, pretty spot on, like pour and door. So,
What is that one?
pour, they're pouring,
Oh, pour.
and a door.
Okay. I see, I would have
Door.
thought that was
Drink, me too.
So I was,
I think it's pour.
I mean, that would make sense.
I think it's cute. I'm a little concerned that maybe some of our kids are ESL kiddos, our special ed kiddos, even us, we didn't know what a couple of these words. We wanna make sure that everybody understands. Maybe we could find something a little bit different. Would you be open to that? I mean, it's cute, but is it gonna assess exactly what we know? Are we assessing if they know vocabulary? Does that make sense?
Maybe we could, maybe recreate something similar
That's what I was thinking.
with like board maker pictures.
Or real photos for the kiddos, maybe our ESL kids that might need real pictures. and
Are the circle photos like real photos?
No, these are board maker, but I would probably do for mine either real pictures or just having a conversation, thinking about it now. Maybe we need to do real, or for some of our kiddos that they might be able to understand these. I think we know our kids, we know which ones are gonna be able to do match that. So maybe having just different sets of pictures to see how they do based on the needs of our students.
I wonder if we could use that new CLI vocabulary card.
Cards.
Resource.
Oh, yeah, the vocabulary.
Because
they have
those
the colored
pictures are beautiful.
And those are real photos.
Yeah, I don't know. Now that I'm looking at it, it's like a little cloud and train. Yeah. Okay, no, that's good. I'm glad I brought it. Yeah, for sure. It was free, so.
Sometimes free.
Yeah, sometimes, yeah.
Any other ideas?
Megan and I were looking at one of our high scope books, and it's the V5 on phonemic awareness. And there's a whole section, a whole chapter, I should say, on building rhyme awareness. And it scaffolds for a lot of our kids, maybe for some that need a little more work with, or just wanted to show there's making up rhymes, looking for rhyming pictures. I know we all learn differently, right? So do it when it rhymes, identifying rhyming words, fill in the missing rhyme. And I really think it's good because it is research based and it is targeted towards our 3 and 4 year olds.
Lots of
So
choices.
maybe really looking into this in a little bit to see what we can
I
find.
think some of those were listed on the curriculum guide under resources.
Yes, they
To piggyback off of the circle activity, there's also the Ready Rosie Rhyming Course, which is kind of similar. Oh, you have it too? Yeah. So that's the video that I actually sent home, and it seemed to help. So
And I think with this one, because, the students do have their own materials, we wanna make sure that we're looking at those 5 ingredients and giving those students all those opportunities, while they're working. The puzzle, I think, would they each have their own puzzles, or would it be one at a time, or
It
what
would
you
be
think?
it would be the same. There's a
Oh,
lot
okay.
of there's quite a few on each page that everybody would have 6 or 7 of their
Maybe even taking your puzzle idea and incorporating it at work time, maybe in the toy area as a puzzle.
Okay, maybe with more
To
like.
reinforce what they're learning in small group time.
Yeah, that's good. Now, Miss Ready Rosie, how did you find the parents? Were they?
So-
I didn't think mine would actually do it. Like it just seems like a lot more work.
It really isn't, the district already has the class made, you just go in and the parents just have to accept an invitation. If they haven't accepted it, you can resend it, and just make sure that they, maybe you don't have the right information, so you can add their cell phone or their email address. It really didn't take much time at all, and then just sends it, and they also get weekly, reminders about, activities, so.
So do we think we wanna send that home this week in our newsletter?
Sure.
As a resource for
Oh,
parents?
maybe for everybody.
Mhm.
That's a
Maybe
great
the
idea.
directions on what you're saying is that they have to accept the link.
Mhm.
that you
Yeah.
send them.
Just let them
And then
know,
it's automatic.
let them know to sign up so they can
Send.
help reinforce those skills.
So did you have to upload everybody's name in Ready Rosie?
No, it was already there,
Oh, it's
the
already-
district already uploaded it, so.
Oh, that's easy.
Do you think we could have that by the end of the week?
It's even
By Friday.
Maybe put it in our newsletter too? What if we put in our newsletter the names, cause once parents are on, they have access to the library themselves. So we could even like take that job away from ourselves and empower our parents to kind of dig around in there. What if we put in our newsletter, I'm just thinking like one video that goes with each content
Right.
area or something, I
You
don't
know,
know.
a Ready Rosie
I like that.
portion of the newsletter and just maybe the words that they can.
And even through
Research.
Seesaw too, so they can't miss it, newsletter, Seesaw, or whatever. Absolutely.
Alright, so I feel like I need to add another row because we came up with some things to do. So we're gonna re-administer this current CCA in 2 weeks. Some great ideas here. We'll be able to work on our lesson plans in just a few minutes. We're gonna create an additional CCA for our kiddos that already know it so we can assess and see where they are. We're gonna send home the Ready Rosie invites to all of students this week so that we can start embedding those lessons in our newsletter since it was obviously super successful in one classroom and we'd love to see that across the things. And then prepping materials or prepping those small groups.
Right.
Gathering all the
I need
materials
to
that
get that,
we
yeah, I
need.
need to get that help, if you guys can help me with that, because I might get some of that.
Absolutely. Okay, all right, everybody feel good about that?